you all please rise for the allegiance? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Good morning, everyone. I'd like to welcome everyone to our Commission work session for December 20th, 2023. Always may join us and listen in through the Zoom system. The phone number, meeting ID, and passcode are on our agenda, listed on our website and available. First order of business is Chief Clerk Linda Dietrich. Any executive sessions?
There were none.
Okay. Before we go to public comment, I'd like to make a comment myself here. I see Albright Cosby, our election bureau director, and there's a computation board that meets, if I have this right, I'll help me out, meets after election. They go back and do a sample check of about 2% of the votes to make sure it was done properly. And we have two members of the board that are retiring. Rose Kern was 45 years on the board, and then Joanne Meyer with 42 years. And just for the record, Rose Kern is actually related to Tony Kern, Tony's mom. So I want to commend them for their service, and Al has certificates that going to mail out to the ladies. So that's quite a career to have on helping the county out and supporting our election bureaus. So, any comments, Al?
We're just very grateful for their assistance for over so many years and their dedication to make sure that the elections were correct and online for all these years, that we have accurate and safe elections as we do. These ladies were a very integral part of processing the results. So thank you.
Okay, thank you, sir.
And if I may on that, the average age of the people that are assisting with elections is pretty high. A lot of people put in a lot of years, so I think it's important that we get out there, that we ask those people who may be interested, please think about volunteering to help out at the polls, to be a poll worker or with computation board or something like that, because it's because of people like these two ladies, as well as everyone that works and volunteers their time. That's what makes elections work, so thank you.
No, absolutely. I know, especially when I was the chairman of the election board during the COVID, when COVID first hit. And naturally, we had the mail-in, but we also needed to make sure 125 precincts were open and running. And a lot of dedicated people came out, ran those polls, and the elections were done. So again, day in and day out, it's a long time and long hours, and we really appreciate all their hard work to make sure that, again, everybody has the opportunity to cast their ballot on however it is to come out to a precinct or to mail in, and everyone that works to help put that all together. It's not just one or two people, it's a team of people that help, and we appreciate all of them and what they do. So.
Okay. That moves us on to public comment. Anyone give public comment today? Go ahead, George. Good morning.
Good morning.
Morning.
My name is George Stankovich, Palo Alto. I hope I'm not overstepping my bounds and I can speak on a couple of things. I'm sure you know what I'm going to talk about, but I want to make sure it's okay. Senior citizens and veterans, of course, are suffering. You see it each and every day. If you don't, you have your eyes closed. We're in the holiday season now. It's supposed to be a joyful time, and these people are losing their homes right and left. I hope and pray that the government starts wising up and helping these people, especially the ones that worked for saving our country by military, I'm talking about, and people that worked their whole lives to put into the system so they have money to pay for these things that they're putting out there. It takes people to make a government. And I think the government is overstepping their bounds a lot of times and not helping the people that need the help the most. It's time to wake up. It's time to realize that people are hurting, and they shouldn't be, because they paid into the system. And the system wouldn't work at all if it wasn't for these people putting out there each and every day. Some people working 16 hours a day. This is ridiculous. And then they can't get help when they need help, when they go to these places and ask for help, that they're losing their homes or need heat or something like that, and tell them that they made a few dollars too much. This is unbelievable. When you need help from something that you paid into and can't get, and there's fraudulent people that never work the day of their life, just have it easy going, and they get everything they ask for. I am not against people getting help. What I'm saying is people that deserve the help should get it, and they're not. They're losing their homes, they can't even eat right or eat properly, skip a meal or skip 2 meals or have no meals at all. This is ridiculous in the United States of America. And to say it for Schuylkill County and the city of Pottsville, I'm ashamed. I am ashamed. This is time for people to wake up. I know there's people out there that are doing good things, but you can tell it's mostly volunteers, people that give of their own time. And these people that get paid to help people out, they're the ones that aren't doing their job. And at times, it's time to wake up now, people. It's time to help these people that need the help the most. Thank you.
Laura, good morning.
My name is Laura Krasnowski, and I live in the city of Pottsville. I find it to be a very sad state of affairs when elected officials put themselves out there saying that they want to represent the people, but they don't want to hear what you have to say. They have comments behind your back, and as a matter of fact, I've actually been called an old hag, which I'm okay with. The fact of the matter is that if you're running for an office under the pretense of saying that you are going to represent people, and then you don't want to hear what they have to say, you're actually taking a theft, because you have no intention of following the Constitution, you have no intention of really representing anybody, you just want to get paid. The fact of the matter is, as far as I've calculated, the commissioners are making on average between $500 and $800 an hour. If you're working a 20-hour or a 30-hour week, it fluctuates. That's an awful lot of money for a part-time job. Really, if I think about that, that's a lot of money. And then the question is, why are we so in debt? When people ask to know specifics on this, you get stared at as if you're somehow from another planet. Wonderful. So what it appears is that we're certainly changing our form of government. We are no longer a republic. We're becoming a totalitarian state. When a mayor of a city gets told that what he said was not appreciated and he should let people know what he's going to talk about before he comes here, I find that to be quite wrong, because we're supposedly having a right to free speech, but really we don't anymore. We don't have a constitution anymore. It's really a bad state of affairs when that young man over there who has that camera for, I think it's Scoop News or something, has to tell the city of Pottsville how the Sunshine Act is supposed to be implemented. Because we pay for a lawyer to be there, we pay for lawyers to be human time clocks, but we don't pay for them to necessarily uphold the Constitution. It's a very sad state of affairs. Thank you.
Anyone else want to give public comment today? Yes, good morning, for you, Linda.
Good morning. I'm Linda Dybert, North Manheim Township. During this campaign cycle, we had 2 Republican candidates
running as a team who promised to restore trust and integrity back to the courthouse. That's an interesting concept. At the current time, folks cannot get an honest, straightforward answer to their questions. Any simple question asked, an open records request must be filled out and submitted. And let me tell you, when it states on the form, they have 5 business days to respond, you better believe they're gonna take the full 5 business days to respond. Then be prepared for your request to be denied in some form or fashion. And then your appeal to the state office of open records ensues. I don't know. Maybe Commissioner Hetherington is waiting until Mr. Pedora comes on board before they start really digging into that trust and integrity thing. Let's keep hope alive. Let's see. When Mr. Pedora ran his campaign for commissioner, he stated the following: I am focused on fixing our badly broken commissioner's office and helping to restore trust in the courthouse. That's why I will be a full-time commissioner to work hard for you. I believe in term limits, and you will not be paying for my meals, travel, or cell phone. Those are refreshing words, to say the least. He also stated that he wants to eliminate the enormous waste in county government, pledges fiscal responsibility and transparency in the commissioner's office. He will end favoritism and backroom deals and pump the brakes on reassessment. I, for one, would like to see more information on this fire training school being proposed in the county, I believe up in the Frackville area. Also, is there any funding in place for a pre-release center, whether it be from the county's adult probation supervision fund, mark those words carefully, or any other sources?
That's your 3 minutes.
Can't wait to see Larry Pedora roll up his sleeves and get started. Thank you.
Anyone else like to give public comment today? If not, we'll move on with the agenda. Excuse me, that brings us up to agenda item 3, adult probation. CJ, good morning, sir.
Good morning.
What did you do?
Good morning, Commissioners. On the agenda for this morning, we have asking for your approval for our continued grant and aid grant for fiscal year 23-24 from PCCD, and the award was $284,131. We are asking for a motion due to having to submit that before the end of the.
Is there a motion to apply for the CCD grant for fiscal year 2023 through to June 30th, 2024?
So moved.
Second.
On the question, roll call?
Commissioner Heatherington?
Yes.
Commissioner Hopkins?
Yes.
Commissioner Hess?
Yes.
Thank you, CJ.
Thank you.
Merry Christmas, sir. Mr. Rumble, good morning,
Morning.
sir. Show over to you.
Morning, Commissioners.
Morning, Carl.
Today we have 6 agreements and an addendum to present. First is an agreement with a vendor new to us, Delaware County Emergency Youth Academy, Chester, Pennsylvania, and they offer community-based residential shelter care at $297 per diem. Term is July 1, 2023 to June 30th, 2024. We have approval of an agreement with Pinckney's Vineyard of Faith Ministries, Red Lion. They offer a specialized settings residential program for pregnant parenting youth. The rates are as follows. The mother and with her placement together with a non-dependent child would be at $252.61 per diem. Mother-only placement would be at $206.32 per diem. And if there were a dependent child, that per diem rate would be $55.45 cents per diem. That term is also July 1, 2023 to June 30th, 2024. We have also an agreement with another vendor which is new to us, Children's Home Pittsburgh, out of Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. They offer medical foster care programming. The per diem rates are as follows. For age 0 to 2 with minimal needs, it's $62 per diem. Age 0 to 2 with significant needs, that per diem rate is $64. For the age range 2 and up, with minimal needs, the per diem rate is $66. For that same age group with significant needs, the per diem rate is $68 per diem. And then the significant medical needs program is the one that that brought us into contact with this program, and that rate is at $73 per diem. The term also is July 2023 to June 30th, 2024. The next item is a known vendor to us, and that's with Diversified Treatment Alternatives in Milton, Pennsylvania. They offer community-based residential treatment services, several locations. The per diem rate at the Lewisburg and Danville locations is $500 even per diem. At the Cole Township location, the per diem rate is $375. That term is also July 1, 2023 to June 30th, 2024. Another known vendor, Concern, out of Fleetwood, Pennsylvania. The agreement includes foster care services. Per diem rates as follows. Traditional is $70.97 per diem. Intensive is at $138.82 per diem. The mother and baby program through Concern is at $178.87 per diem. They also offer a community-based residential program. The per diem rate there is $299.84 per diem. Similar term period, July 1, 23 to June 30th, 2024. We have another new vendor, Clock Tower Schools. This is located at the former Glen Mills secure facility. It's no longer a secure facility and under new management. They offer now community-based residential services at $305 per diem. That term is also July 1, 2023 to June 30th, 2024. Finally, we have an addendum to present. This is with the current agreement with Shore Youth and Family Services out of Reading. That agreement is dated October 25th of this year. The addition here is 2 emergency shelter residential beds on a reservation basis. These would be for exclusive use by County Children and Youth and the Juvenile Probation Office. We're looking at 2 beds under this addendum to the agreement. The per diem rate for those reservations is at $370 each.
Is that the 3%, is that for both beds or individual beds?
Individually.
So it's be $740 over there. That's just curious, okay. Any questions for Carl? If not, thanks for your presentation.
Thank you, Carl.
I would just like, if I may,
Sure.
to recognize our new contracts manager, Holly Skorsky, is with us today. She's already been put to work on a few new items here that, as we are always looking for, options that are the best fit for the programs we're trying to operate and the children we're serving. I know some business came by way of probation recently, and that our workers have also been looking for very specialized services, that medical among them. Holly has really been picking up the ball on that.
While you're up, Carl, I know I talked to you personally, but I'm going to bring out the fact that we watch Channel 16, ABC, in our morning news, and twice now I've seen your foster care ad, which I think was very well done, very very good job. And I know that's something you did above and beyond your job duties, and I commend you for trying to get foster parents closer to home. A kid can stay in their school district, a kid can stay with his relative, so I can say I'm not sure how successful it's been so far, but I know you're trying your best, and those commercials are very eye-catching, so.
Yeah, I don't have hard numbers for you here today, but I can say that our foster care coordinator definitely sees the difference with that campaign, and that folks are calling in. It is generating interest, and we're getting new folks approved to provide care locally, and I think that's such an important thing, and I'm happy to be a part of promoting that as I can.
Yeah, it sounds to be it's just a winning situation by having local foster parents, so congratulations, thank you for your extra work on that.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
Okay, that moves us up to, liquid fuels, Lisa Mayhaw. Good morning, Lisa.
Good morning, Commissioners. I just have one item today. I'm requesting a motion to encumber an additional $275,000 for project number 21-53000-001, which is County Bridge 24 Line Street over Good Spring Creek in Fremont Borough. The bridge is currently under engineering design and will be bid for construction in early 2024. And I am requesting that motion today.
Is there a motion to encumber this for $275,000 for the bridge project?
Move.
Second.
On the question, roll call?
Commissioner Heatherington?
Yes.
Commissioner Pope?
Yes.
Commissioner Hess?
This was this additional things that weren't anticipated, or?
No, it takes several years because we only get so much money in our liquid fuels. And
Oh.
it should be noted that this money is liquid fuel and not general fund money. But we'll put a couple $100,000 aside over a couple of years so that, engineering takes a couple of years, so we kind of try and set the money aside. That's why projects take a couple of years and that takes a little bit of time to go through the design, so. Now, it's anticipated and
Right.
we're ready to roll then.
This is all part of your plan, okay.
It's all part of the plan.
Okay, very good, thanks, Lisa.
Merry Christmas,
Merry
Lisa.
Christmas, folks.
Tax assessor, Mr. Heather, good morning, sir.
Good morning, Commissioners.
Morning, Ken.
I'm also requesting a motion on behalf of tax assessment for the approval of a 4-month contract with Resource Technology Corporation that will run from January 1 of 2024 through April 30, 2024. The contract provides continuing technical services to our present government software system used by the county to manage the tax parcel information on every property. The total monthly cost will be $9,000, $3,000 allocated towards maintenance, $6,000 for technical support. Total contract is $36,000. The second is for the approval for a 2-year contract with Resource Technologies Corporation that'll run from January 1, 2024 through December 31, 2025. This contract provides for mineral valuation, mapping system updating data concerning mining and mineral preserve properties. The 2-year total of that contract is $48,000. The monthly fee is $2,000.
Thank you, sir. You're looking for a motion today, or?
Yes,
No.
for a motion to.
Well, it wasn't,
No. Doesn't say that.
Until next week.
yeah, we'll do the motion. This is, yeah,
No.
Yeah, but next week is good.
it's okay, yeah, we're gonna, this is work session, we'll do a motion next week.
Okay.
We'll have it by the end of the year, so.
Okay.
Thank you, Stan. Grant writers. Morning, Ron.
Morning, I'm here for Cheryl today. The first item is a CDBG project. We're waiting on some further clarifications on this, so it may need to be reduced, rescinded, or tabled next week, based on what we receive on some other questions that came up on this. But it is to approve a change order number 1 for $10,510.22 to a contract with Heim Construction Company for an ADA curb project in Origsburg. This change order will increase the contract from $85,186.20 to $95,696.42. It's due to a change in the contract quantities required to comply with ADA accessibility requirements. The rest of the items, there's no pending issues. Approval of a change order number 1 for $1,433.22 for a contract with Ronnie C. Folk Paving Incorporated for a Butler Township Road rehabilitation project. This change order will increase the contract from $26,280 to $27,713.22. And this is due to a change order in quantities to complete the project. That was also a CDBG project. Approval to award a contract in the amount of $12,444 to Daniel J. Farber for a demolition project at 37 Mock-Chunk Street in Tamaqua. Approval to award a contract in the amount of $36,500 to Cass Contracting for a demolition project at 26 South Front Street, St. Clair. Approval to award a contract in the amount of $21,635 to AMC Enterprise for a CDBG demolition project at 146 North Nickel Street in St. Clair. Approval to award a contract in the amount of $19,454 to Northeast Industrial Services for a demolition project at 119 Parkway, Schuylkill Haven. And finally, approval to award a contract in the amount of $24,695 to Affordable Construction and Demolition for a demolition project at 520, 522, and 524 Railroad Street in Monterey City.
Thank you. And once more, I want to commend you and Cheryl and Administrator Bender. These are 5 more projects to trying to clean up light. I mean, that's one of our major county issues, and you folks are really at it. We appreciate it. And also want to commend Senator Argle for the support he's got. A little over $2 million to come to our county to help mediate blight. And I want to thank you and Cheryl and Gary for really being serious about that and helping our communities out. So,
Thank you.
Merry Christmas, sir.
Thanks.
Next is Lisa Fishburne, Mental Health and Mental Services. I see that we have a representative for Lisa today, so. Morning.
Morning. John Reed presenting on behalf of Lisa Fishburne from Mental Health. We're requesting approval of a quote in the amount of $31,544.91 from ID Wraps Automotive and Architectural Graphics of Slaventon, PA. This will be for digital vehicle graphic wrap of 6 county shuttle vans for the mental health awareness campaign. And motion is requested at this time.
Looking for a motion to go ahead with ID Wraps from Automotive and Architectural Graphics. These will be on 6 of our county shuttle vans to promote mental health awareness campaign. Is there a motion for that?
So moved.
I'll second that. On the question, roll call?
Commissioner Heatherington?
Yes.
Commissioner Halkovich? Commissioner Hess?
Yes.
Next up, thanks a lot, sir. Merry Christmas. Thanks for coming down. We have Mr. Kevin Neal on Public Works. Good morning, Kevin.
Good morning. I'm here to request a motion for the approval to award a contract to Diversified Maintenance RWS LLC for the cleaning of the Schuylkill County Courthouse from January 1st, 2024 to December 31st, 2025 at a cost of $143,412.32.
Okay, looking for a motion to approve our contract to clean the courthouse for 2024.
So moved.
I'll second that. On the question, roll call?
Commissioner Heatherington?
Yes.
Commissioner Halkovich? Commissioner Hess?
Yes.
Okay, thanks, Kevin.
Thank you. Merry Christmas.
Yes, sir. Heather Gadd, our risk manager's up next. Morning, Heather.
Good morning, Commissioners. On behalf of the Office of Risk Management, a motion is requested today that the Board of County Commissioners approve and authorize the renewal of excess workers' compensation insurance for a 1-year term effective January 1st, 2024 through December 31st, 2024 with Midwest Employers Casualty Company at a rate of $118,913.
So the Heather, on behalf of risk management, is requesting the authorizing renewal of our excess workers' compensation insurance policy with Midwest Employers Casualty Company for the 2024 year. Is there a motion for that, sir?
So moved.
I'll second that. On the question, roll call?
Commissioner Heatherington?
Yes.
Commissioner Halkovich? Commissioner Hess?
Yes.
Okay, next up, thank you, Heather, Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
Next up, our solicitor's office.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. We're requesting the Board of Commissioners consent to and approve and authorize the execution of a settlement stipulation in connection with settlement of an assessment appeal initiated by the taxpayer and approved by Pine Grove Township and the Pine Grove Area School District in the matter of LRC Limited, the Schuylkill County Board of Assessment Appeals, Court of Common Pleas of Schuylkill County number S-1999-2023 regarding 475 Sweetburg Road, Pine Grove. It's tax parcel number 21-09-0161.002.
Thank you, sir. Next up, treasurer's report. Good morning, Linda.
Morning, Commissioners. I'm looking for the approval of the treasurer's report for November of 2023. Ending balance in all accounts, $99,367,853.55.
Thank you. Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
Okay, next up is our financial director, Paul Boober. Good morning, sir.
Commissioners, good morning.
Good morning.
This morning I have several items I'd like to present. First, I'd like to present some budget adjustments. Budget adjustments are involve reallocating budgetary authority between line items within the respective departmental budget. Each budget adjustment has an explanation on the bottom, and they are not increasing overall spending. The first one I'd like to present is on behalf of the District Justice Court System for $35. Next is on behalf of Soil Conservation for $418. Next is on behalf of Tax Assessment for $750. Next is on behalf of the Election Bureau for $3,000. Next is on behalf of the Sheriff's Office for $6,000. Commissioners, what this budget adjustment represents is the Sheriff's Department did budget money for overtime. However, this is additional overtime that was incurred above and beyond what was included in their budget, but they were able to identify savings within their departmental budget to offset the additional costs. Next is on behalf of Domestic Relations for $9,400. Commissioners, this is a result of some additional legal expenses the department incurred. That's due to an increase in caseload. This is being paid out of their agency fund. About 66% of the cost is reimbursed with federal dollars. The other 33% is picked up by the general fund. Next is on behalf of 911 Communications for $34,000. Commissioners, what this actually represents is there was a new phone line that was involved to support some new T1 circuits. This cost is for a 3-month period. And I also have a supplemental budget appropriation resolution I'd like to present, number 2023-19. It's for $91,646. Presenting this on behalf of the Affordable Housing Trust Fund Board. Commissioners, they're requesting to draw on some program reserves to pay some additional expenses that were incurred.
Okay, so we have 7 requests for budgetary adjustments. Once again, these are
with Missy being new in that position, maybe sit down now that the budget is going to be approved to basically look at that to see how it can be maximized into the future. I know that we received funds that helped us out from the courts also, but down the line, I guess we didn't get as much from the courts this year as we have in past, to see how that can move forward to help defray the costs of the taxpayers.
Be happy to do that, Commissioner.
Thank you, appreciate it.
Okay, any other questions? Okay, if not, then we have 7 requests for transfer. The first one, District Justice Courts, a $35 transfer. Soil Conservation, $418. Tax Assessment, $750. Election Bureau Voter Registration, $3,000. Sheriff's Office, $6,000. Domestic Relations, $9,400. And the 911 Communication, $34,000. In addition, there's a request to budget appropriation resolution 2023-19 for $91,646. As Paul explained, this is Affordable Housing Trust Fund is asking to take from reserves to cover additional expenses. Is there a motion for these requests?
So moved.
Second.
On the question, roll call?
Commissioner Heatherington?
Yes.
Commissioner Halkovich?
Yes.
Commissioner Hess?
Yes.
And I believe, Paul, you want to talk about the administration of finance, right?
Sure. Commissioners, the next item I have, I'd like to present the final budget resolution for the 2024 budget, resolution number 12-20-23. To establish the final 2024 real estate millage at 15.98 mils to include 15.38 mils for the 2024 general fund account, 0.60 mils for the 2024 funded debt account. To establish the final 2024 per capita tax at $5. To adopt the 2024 final budget for the general fund, with proposed legislative authorization to expend public funds for office departmental functions within the established budget parameters at an aggregate expenditure limit set at $83,290,995 to be offset by projected revenues of $72,762,685 and supplemented by approximately $10,528,310 from the general fund unassigned fund balance. To adopt the 2024 final budget for the funded debt account with proposed legislative authorization to expend funds in an amount of $2,087,101 for debt service to be offset by projected revenues plus a carryover restricted fund balance of $2,087,101. To adopt the 2024 final budget for the capital project fund account with proposed legislative authorization to expend public funds for projects within the established budget parameters at an aggregate expenditure limit set at $125,763 to be offset by projected revenues plus a carryover restricted fund balance of $125,763. To adopt the 2024 final budget for the Capital Reserve Fund account with proposed legislative authorization to expend public funds for projects within the established budget parameters at an aggregate expenditure limit set at $460,000 to be offset by projected revenues plus a carryover restricted fund balance of $460,000. To adopt the 2024 final budget for the Internal Service Fund, Workers' Compensation, with the proposed legislative authorization to expend public funds for workers' compensation claims and administrative expenses within the established budget parameters at an aggregate expenditure limit set at $380,000 to be offset by projected revenues of $380,000. To adopt the 2024 final budget for certain special revenue fund accounts with proposed legislative authorization to expend public funds for office departmental functions within the established budget parameters to be offset by projected revenues or by projected revenues plus carryover restricted fund balance as follows. Local use funds, revenues $812,500, expenditures $951,500. Liquid fuels, revenues $785,900, expenditures $1,953,296. Demolition, revenues $1,313,000, expenditures $2,041,430. Other farmland preservation, revenues $124,581, expenditures $372,136. Human Services Complex, revenues $229,832, expenditures $314,882. 911, revenues $8,071,130, expenditures same amount. American Rescue Plan, revenues $406,000, expenditures $11,438,199. Tax reassessment, revenues $215,400, expenditures $5,679,582. Other agency funds, revenues $3,699,573, expenditures same amount. Office of Senior Services, revenues $6,772,160, expenditures same amount. Drug and alcohol, revenues $3,659,017, expenditures $4,052,296. Mental health, revenues $7,933,307, expenditures same amount. Children and youth, revenues $29,076,113, expenditures same amount. Domestic relations, revenues $2,743,935, expenditures $2,574,614. To adopt the final 2024 final budget for other special revenue fund accounts with proposed legislative authorization to expend public funds for special programs such as aging advisory, offender supervision, SCBG program, affordable housing, co-lands, DUI, other escrow, conduit, Schuylkill County Transportation Authority, Marcellus Shell, Emergency Solutions Grant, with established parameters at an aggregate expenditure limit of $28,642,237 to be offset by projected revenues plus a carryover restricted fund balance of $28,642,237.
Any questions for Paul? I'd like to comment, I know this has been a difficult year to make this all work. I know you put a lot of time in Paul, I know Chris helped a lot, I know Gary Bender's been at it day and night. And also our department heads, the officers have all been very cooperative. There are a lot of wants, and some of the wants were chopped out, and we made it work. So I do appreciate everybody being cooperating, and this is a monumental task. And I know this is, I've seen Paul's car here Sunday, some evenings. So it's, I want to commend everybody who's involved and got it done. So any questions or any comments for the?
No, just again, good work to the finance team that put this together. I know it's been a challenge, as moving forward and, going forward, so, putting everything together, so, good job.
Thank you.
Okay, so there's a motion requested to approve these final real estate, 2024 budget.
So moved.
Second.
On the question, roll call?
Commissioner Heatherington?
Yes.
Commissioner Halkovich?
Yes.
Commissioner Hess?
Yes.
Thank you, Paul.
You're welcome.
That brings us to, human resources. I see Heather here subbing for Tony today. Good morning, Heather.
Good morning, Commissioner. Today we have 3 resignations. The first one is in drug and alcohol. The resignation of Grace Coffin as Administrative Officer 1, effective 12/8/23. In Children and Youth, we have the resignation of William Sutton as a County Caseworker 2, effective 1/5/24. And Office of Senior Services, we have the resignation of Carissa Underwood as an Aging Care Manager 2, effective 12/21/23.
Thank you, Heather. Is there anything else to bring before the Board of Commissioners? If not, I'll entertain a motion for.
So moved.
Second.
Okay, that brings us